Self-improvement is supposed to make life better, but why does no one talk about the ways it can make life harder? Why does no one mention that growth is lonely, that the more you change the more you outgrow people, places, and even parts of yourself? No one tells you that becoming a better version of yourself sometimes means letting go of relationships that no longer fit, or that when you start thinking differently you might not relate to the same conversations, the same habits, the same environments you once felt friendly and comfortable. We celebrate transformation, but no one talks about the grief that comes with it. No one tells you that self-improvement often feels like losing yourself before you find yourself again. We say we want change, but no one warns us that change is not just about gaining something new, it's about losing something old, and that loss, even when necessary, still hurts. We focus so much on becoming stronger that we forget real strength isn't just about pushing forward, it's about knowing when to pause, when to rest, when to admit that you don't have all the answers yet. No one talks about how exhausting self-awareness can be once you start seeing your own patterns, your own fears, your own limiting beliefs. You can't unsee them, but awareness doesn't equal change. Just because you know what's holding you back doesn't mean you instantly know how to move forward, and sometimes growth feels frustrating because the more you learn, the more you realize how much you still don't know. We talk about discipline as if it's the solution to everything, but no one asks if sometimes discipline is just forcing yourself to follow rules that were never meant for you. No one questions if maybe instead of more discipline we need more self-trust, more intuition, more freedom to figure out what actually works for us. We assume that motivation is something we should always have, but no one says that even the most passionate people lose motivation, and that it's okay not to feel inspired all the time. No one talks about how progress is not a straight line, that real growth comes with setbacks, that some days you will feel unstoppable and other days you will feel like you've gone backward. We think self-improvement will make life easier, but real growth often makes life more complicated, because once you know better you can't go back to ignoring the things you used to tolerate. You can't unlearn the lessons you've learned, and sometimes that means making hard choices, choices to leave jobs that drain you, choices to end friendships that no longer align, choices to step into the unknown even when it terrifies you. And maybe that's why so many people stay stuck, not because they don't want to grow, but because deep down they know that real growth requires sacrifice, it requires discomfort, it requires facing truths about yourself and your life that are easier to ignore. But that's the part no one talks about, because it's not the easy sell, it's not the quick fix, it's not the feel-good advice, but it's the truth. And if you can accept that, if you can embrace the fact that growth is messy, painful, and sometimes isolating, then you will understand what self-improvement really is: not just a way to become better, but a way to become real, to strip away everything that was never truly you and finally become the person you were meant to be.